Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into my channel. Today is day 81 of the 100-day project. I'm on the downslope, you guys. Like, I have 19 videos left, this one included. And yeah, I am not sure what I'm going to do for the next 19 videos, but you will see me every day still for a little while longer. Today I want to process some little golden books. So I've done one because I had to test it out before I would show it to you guys, because I have enough fails that I'm showing, and I didn't want to do that for this. So what I did was I've taken the golden books apart and I am creating journals out of them. So I've added spines to it and corners and everything, and I want to show you how I did that. So that is the way that I am going to spend the next few days for sure. I don't know how much I will be able to get done in one video. I have 12 more little golden books and I want to do 3 more, so I have 4 on the go, and then I will create 4 journals out of these. And so that is what is going to happen for the rest of this week. So today is Wednesday, so Thursday I will be working on it, and Friday I will be working on it just in little bits and pieces, but today we are going to make the covers. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to remove the covers from the book, and I will be using some tools, some very, very special tools. I have a pair of scissors and I have some pliers. Pardon my reach. I have some pliers and I need one more tool. I have a screwdriver. So I'm going to start with the screwdriver, and I'm just going to very carefully try and loosen the cover. It is stapled in, and so I just have to figure out where the staples are to start with. They're right here. And I don't want to damage the pages, so that's why I am being very, very careful. They are coming loose. It's very, very slowly coming loose. Oh, there she goes. There, so I'll do this. So I'm just opening the staples up just a little bit bigger and carefully removing the signatures. Oh, this one is glued in as well. Okay. So I have the signatures and I have the edges. So with my scissors, I am just going to, no, I want to actually use my ruler and my knife, because that way it will be a little neater than if I use scissors. Here's my knife. don't need a ruler. I just need to cut right in the side here, and it removes the cover from the little golden piece, which is a really flimsy piece. I wish I could keep it, because I do like that is one of the parts that I really like for the golden books, is the little golden spine. But it is flimsy once you open it up, because it's, yeah, it just doesn't work. So I just discard that part. I'm also going to take a baby wipe and a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I'm just spraying that onto the book and wiping it down so that it's clean and there's no more well, like if there's pen or anything on there, it will remove it, but it definitely cleans it as well. I don't know if it will, yeah, it removes the pen from the inside as well, which is lovely. So any marks that are on the books are coming off with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And yes, I have doors open and windows open, so I'm good. I can spray this. There, now it's clean. And I'll do the same with the back cover. Right, so then I'm just going to put this aside together until I am ready to get moving to the next step. So I'm going to do the same thing for all 4. So I will be back when they're all done. I want to show you how dirty some of these books are and how much is coming off of them. These are the oldest one, or the older ones. So this one is from 1983. So it's definitely a vintage one, and it is so dirty. I am getting some of the stains off of it, but some I just don't want to rub too hard because I don't want to take all the ink off of it either. So that's why I wanted to come back and show you. I want to come back and show you something. How can you tell that the age of a golden book is, or that a golden book is really vintage? When it says visit us online at www, you know that it is not vintage. Like this one, for example, it was originally printed in 1959, but then this book was reprinted in the 2000s. So that's how you know that they are definitely not vintage. Same with this one. It has a randomhouse.com kids, and the cost, of course. This one doesn't even have a price on it. No, it doesn't. And these are more expensive. So this one is actually the newest one. So yeah, just a little tidbit, just so you know. But yeah, there's no date, no websites on here, so that means that is from well before the internet. And then when you look at the dates in here as well, this is from 1985, and there's nothing past 1985. So this is probably, this might be a first edition. So that is kind of cool as well. I'm just still taking the staples out of here, and they're all rusty and gross. All right, there we go. I'm being very careful. Not necessarily with the spine there. Okay, I'm just going to take the two signatures apart. They all just have the two signatures. They're all the same size books. There we go. And they just have the loveliest colors and images in there. And I have a couple of cereal boxes. So one side will make one cover. I am going to grab my ruler. And I'm just going to open this up so I can have some space to work. How much of a spine did I give this one? I believe it's 3 inches. 2 inches. 2-inch spine is a great spine that will give you 4 signatures, I believe. I want to go on the inside of the fold line and just cut it straight across there. And this way I can make sure that everything is nice and straight. So I'm just going to clean up all the boxes and then I will show you what I'm doing. So I have them all cut up. And the reason that I'm doing 4 at the same time, or actually 5 at the same time, is because I need to sew the part of the signatures, or part of these signatures. So I have to sew the inside pieces. And it is much easier if I have the sewing machine and I do a whole bunch than when I have to grab the sewing machine, put it away, grab the sewing machine, put it away. So that's why I'm doing a whole bunch at once. So now I need these to be 2 inches wide, and I need them to be, I'm going to have to measure each one of these individual because I think I know that they're all the same size, but still. So they're just shy of 8 inches. So I'm going to cut them all at 8 inches because the one that I already did was the exact same size. So I figure if I cut them all at 8, then it should be perfect. I'm just going to put a line down where I need to cut. Oh, that was no good. Is that straight? Yeah. Okay, so 8 inches for all. So I have all 4 at 8 inches, and look at that, they're even straight-ish. Okay, so now I need to cut 8 2-inch strips. Oh, I'll be able to get 3 strips out of one cover. That is wonderful. is exactly 6 inches. I just lay this down on my grit just to make sure that everything is nice and straight. I'm not I'm not pushing very hard on my knife. I'm just carefully going around it. That way nothing will move or mess up. I'm being very cautious because the more I can get out of one panel, the better it is. And they're all 2 inches. Lovely. Perfect. So I'll continue on with that. Okay, so now I am going to glue 2 of these panels to each other. And I am using my Aleene's Tacky Glue. That is really my favorite glue to use. And I'm not being stingy with the glue. I am going over it, making sure there is a good layer. There. That's one. And then I'm using a little scrap piece to go and spread the glue nicely and evenly over the whole piece so that it will be able to stick together very nicely. Because the last thing you want is for it to come loose, right? There we go. So then I'm just lining them up, putting them together, making sure that it's nice and straight. And I'm taking a piece of masking tape. You can use washi tape as well, but I have masking tape right here, so why not use that? Using a little masking tape, and I'm just making sure that it stays nicely attached right there. And do that at the bottom as well, and I'll do it in the center. So I will have it in 3 spots to make sure that it is a good sturdy spine. And it helps when you actually make it tight on the edge. There we go. That's better. Much better. Okay, that's one. I'll show you one more, and then I think you understand the process. So I'm just using my Aleene's Tacky Glue, and this really is wonderful glue for pretty much everything. I use it for my, when I use it on my ephemera, I have it diluted a little bit so it comes out of my little bottles a little easier. And I just poke a tiny hole in it. I use my owl to poke a hole in it. And that gives me just enough to be able to get the glue out, just enough. I don't want a big hole where it just comes shooting out. I could have used something to put underneath this, but I didn't, so I'll have to clean the glue off of my cutting board again. I'm just wiping it off on here and then lining this up. And one is not exactly the same as the other. Which is okay. I'll just lay my ruler on it and just cut the excess off the ones so that they're nicely just making sure that they're even. Oh. There we go. Now they're even, and it's still 2 inches. So one was just given a little extra. It happens. So we use the masking tape. And making sure that it is nicely attached. I'll put the masking tape in the glue, so I'll put another piece, or not the masking tape, I put the spine in the glue, so I'm just going to put another piece of masking tape on here to cover that up, because the last thing we want is to have glue everywhere. There. There we go. One more piece, and then I'll finish the rest off camera. So while you weren't looking, I cleaned my cutting board, and all 4 of the spines are dry and ready to go. Now I need to cut some fabric, and I have a few options. I have some of this that I used to cover the other books, and that will work for sure. I would go this way. I think I like that one a lot, so I'm just going to cut a piece. There, and it needs to be the correct height. So I'm just evenly cutting this, or as even as I can eyeball it. And then I need how much do I need? I need about that much and not that much. Let's take the signatures out, put these aside. Take the other 3 spines away. And I'll just lay this out. And then this can go in the center between them. And I have to cut a little bit off right here. And I need my knife again. And I'm just going to cut that little bit off. There we go. So now it's straight. If you're hearing a lot of noise, that would be my neighbors. They're very considerate. Sorry, that was sarcasm. I'm giving it a little bit of space in between. And I'm trying to get it at level. There. Okay. So it's going to stay right there. And then I have my fabric. This end is straight. So I want to go to just about there, which is, I want to go just inside there. Can I line that up properly? That is the question. So I need about this much. So I know the top and the bottom are roughly even. So I'm just going to lay this down to get as straight of a cut as I can get. I am going to put it down on my board. Right there. Let's see how straight we can get this. Huh. I may use my knife, see if that will work better so that I can actually keep it nice and straight. Right there. Or at least I have a line now. Huh. That works very well, actually. because I know I have a straight piece here now. So I'm going to grab my pieces again right here. That's easier. Then I have something to build on, because I know that part is definitely totally straight. I'm taking my ruler. I'm putting my ruler right here so that I can line everything up against that. Now what I'm going to do, because I know I'm going to put something on the inside anyway, is I'm going to take a little bit of masking tape, not a lot, and I'm just going to set this. So that it won't move anymore. There we go. I know I'm going to move it, so that's why I put that there, so that I can't move it anymore. This is my nicely straight piece of fabric. And I want to go away from the P a little bit, so that I don't want to cover that up. I want to see that that is there. So because I know that that is where I want this front panel to be, I am just going to put the glue on here. And I'm using the tacky glue again. It works very well for this, and it doesn't seep through this fabric, which is, this is upholstery fabric anyway, so it's not like it is a flimsy piece of cotton. It is a heavy fabric. And I have my piece of leftover again, and I'm going to have to take a little bit of the masking tape away. There we go. And then I'm just letting that go and letting that fall right there. And I have that attached. There. So now I'm going to put glue on here and on here to glue the rest of the pieces together. They're really loud today. They're never very quiet, but today is exceptional. Okay, I think I have enough glue. I don't want too much glue either. And I'm going all the way to the edge, all the way to the edge. And you know what? As I'm doing this, I'm realizing that I got not enough fabric, because I should have been able to slide it to the inside. So not overly smart, but it's okay. I will go with it. I will make it work somehow. I might just put some trim on the top. That I can fold over. Because I'm not messing with it that much. All right, so this is glued. And I am just going to make sure that it is nice and flat, well adhered. So I'm just going to go over it with my fingers, just rubbing it down. And there's still space here for fabric. Not on this side, but there is some space right there. So I may just take that little bit of glue that I have left and just go to the inside and attach it. There we go. I want to make sure that it is well attached. I don't want to lose any pieces. There we go. So I will figure out some trim, but you can see like it is a very nice spine right now. So I'll put a little bit of trim on here and that I can fold to the inside. And I'm just going to let this dry. I'm going to repeat this process for the other 3 as well. And I think then we're in the same spot as what the lion is. So then we can continue on with the rest of it. Oh, no, we're not. We still have one more step to go. Let me show you how I am going to do that. So I solved the problem, and I put the ends on the inside, and this is what it looks like on the outside now. I'll show you. So I put a little strip of fabric on there, just a little bit more. It's okay. Am I excited about it? No, but you know, sometimes you just have to make things work. It will be very well attached on the inside, and it is very well attached on the outside as well. I attached it with my 3-in-1 glue, which glues fabric like there's no tomorrow. And I may put some lace on it still, and think so. It will be covered, but in the meantime, my edges look beautiful. So what I want to do next, and I think I want to use a light color. Let me find it. So I have a light color cardstock that I am going to, I'm just going to measure how much I need. I want to have just a little bit showing of the cover, so that's fine. And that needs to go away so that it's safe. So I can go right there, right there. And I want to show the little book. So how much is that? Where did I put my ruler? It's right here. So if I go to uh, 1.5 inch, 1.5 right there, and then 1.5 right there. There we go. So that is how much I need to cut off. And I'm just going to lay this right here and use my knife. Just lay this out straight. Oops. That's one. And we'll lay this down straight as well on the lines, and then I can just cut that nice and even. There we go. So next, I am going to use, I have this beautiful Martha Stewart edge punch. So I'm going to use that to cut the edges of the, in here. And I'm going to make a little mark to show where the center is. There. And I can erase this. But now I can put my punch, I can line it right up with the center. Yeah, that's as lined up as I can get it. And then I can line them up in here to get it to be a really pretty edge. There we go. It's a very simple way to make a pretty edge. So I'm going to try that again and try and line it up where it is very similar. Well, that one's better. And then I'm just going to line it up again. And one more. I apologize, that's my stomach. And I will have to do one more for good measure. There. And then we're going to go this way. And this way. There we go. We have beautiful lace design for the inside. I know I have an eraser here somewhere. rid of all of this. Let me just do it the easy way. There. Okay, so now I'm going to take this back and I'm going to lay this. Oh, I need another piece erased. So I can put this right here over the edges so that you can't see the edges of the fabric. And I'm just going to glue that down again. This time, however, because I want to make sure that this is in the exact right spot, I am going to put a couple of lines in here where I have to stay inside with the glue. So I'm just grabbing the exact same glue again. And I'm not putting glue in the channel. It makes the cardboard or the cardstock get soggy, and we definitely don't want that. I want to make sure that it is well attached to the fabric, and everywhere else it can be a thinner layer. There we go. And I'm going to use that same little piece of leftovers that I was using for all the other pieces as well. Just making sure there's a nice thin layer of glue everywhere. I can take a little bit more if I need it. But I don't think I will need it. Maybe a little bit on the spine. I want to make sure that is well attached, even though we are going to be stitching through it, but I also don't want it to come loose. Come on, glue. There. There we go, that's better. So I want to be able to fold so I'm going in here with the glue a little bit, so that when I am attaching the paper, the cardstock, it will have glue there, but not an awful lot, so it doesn't get soggy. So now I'm just going to line this back up to the pencil lines. And slide it so that it's nicely centered. And press it down. There's a little bit of excess glue, but that's okay. It's not as bad as if I hadn't measured it out. Okay. Trying to erase the lines a little bit. All right, So now I need to get the channel created, and I'm going to use my stylus, and I'm going to go very gently inside. It's right there. Just trying to find where the edges are. There we go. And I don't want to mess with I don't want the paper to break, the cardstock. So I'm just going to go in very, very gently. I am not putting a lot of pressure on, because as soon as I put pressure on, that's what that is what happens. So I'm just very gently pushing it into the edges here, or into creating a channel between the spine and the sides of the front and the back covers. And there it goes again. I may have to put a little bit of washi on there after, but that's okay. Right now we have a beautiful book cover. So I just play with it a bit while it dries. And then you won't be able to see it. Once this is all dry, you won't be able to see that happened. And I'm just using my fingers and the stylus, and we're just moving this until it gives. It doesn't have to go all the way over, it just needs to be able to lay flat and be able to close. Next, I am going to put some corners on. Once the corners are on, that is it for the cover. They just make it look so much prettier. So I am using my 3-in-1 glue for this, and I'm putting a little bit of 3-in-1 glue right on the edges of the book, and then I'm sliding my corner protectors right on there. I should probably use a piece of scrap fabric so I don't mess them up. And it will take up the rest of the glue as well. There we go. So I repeat that for all 4, and I will show you when I have all 4 of them done. So all 4 are done. Let me take that away. All 4 are done. And let me show you. I'm just going to put them all aside, and then I'll grab them one by one. So grab the top one here, and this is the cow and the elephant. And I have put some of Tim Holtz's palette fabric on as the spine. I love this fabric so much. It is beautiful. And I put the rest of that creamy paper in on the inside. So they're all very similar. And then the signatures can go right in there. And I'm putting a little clip on them to keep it together until I am ready. I had all the clips. And then of course they're gone. So I'll put a little clip on it so it stays together, and I'll put it aside and we will work on that tomorrow. Next, I have How Does Your Garden Grow? It has green on the inside. I really like the green on the inside. And I put the other piece, another piece of that Tim Holtz fabric on the edge. Mostly because it's flowers and it goes with garden, and then the green on the inside. And we'll clip it. Then we had the tail of Peter Rabbit, which we did on camera. This one is stiff because the fabric on the end, on the spine, is much is a heavier fabric than what the cotton is. So this is a heavier spine, but it still opens all the way up, and that's all that matters. So we are putting, and it's still drying too. So we're putting the signature in there, clipping it in. For now, we'll deal with that tomorrow. And then the last one was Big Bird. And Big Bird got, look at the pretty fabric I had. I had this little piece left, and I was looking through all the other books that I have, and this was the only one where I could really put it on there. So I put the other piece of the green on the inside for Big Bird. And that's it. All four of them are have the cover done, and I am ready to move on to the signatures, and I will move on to that tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can see, you will get a notification when I am coming out with another video, because you don't want to miss what I'm going to do with these. Thanks for tuning in, and have yourselves a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Bye.